This is a short video, an introduction to the groundwork approach that I take to my Aikido. And I worked on this, had a friend of mine who's a wrestler background, with a wrestling background, help me out, put some things together to help me and my students learn about dealing with being tackled, being on the ground, having somebody on top of you with the intent of getting back up. And this is where a lot of sport grappling is intent on getting to the ground and getting a superior position on the ground and then pinning an opponent or getting them to submit. The approach that we are taking is going to be a little different in the fact that our goal as Aikidoists is to get back to our feet, not to engage on the ground and wind up wrestling and grappling at length. So the exercises that I'm going to show are going to be to that end, to get you into a position on top so that you can get back up to your feet.
This footage was taken from instructional videos. They are not full-speed demonstrations, but made to clearly show how techniques work and should be trained from the beginning. Groundwork in grappling is something that any martial artist must understand and be able to deal with. We know that not all fights end up on the ground, but if you do find yourself there, you must be able to get back to your feet quickly. Sport grappling training is great, but can often get lost in the weeds of engaging in ground grappling and lose focus on survival for getting a submission. These two examples show that being in a superior position on the ground and staying there can be a problem. The best training habits we can build are to get on top and back to our feet without taking a hard shot. I focus on three primary realms when it comes to grappling and groundwork. 1. Learning to avoid being taken to the ground in the first place. 2. Recovering from a bad position and getting back to your feet. And 3. Anti-grappling methods to make being dominated or submitted very difficult. Here are some examples of the movements which are focused on those things. These principles come primarily from catch wrestling and jiu-jitsu, again with a focus on survival, not sport. Everything I will share with you takes into account striking, which is often overlooked in sport grappling. We will cover training progressions, all the way from basic fundamentals to live drilling. The goal is to build up skill and ease under increasing resistance. Ultimately, I want you to be nearly impossible to hold down on the ground. Since many of these principles and methods come from the grappling world, they are useful against trained grapplers and will make it difficult for them to dominate you. The approach I have found success with is not the only one, but I have found excellent results with my students in a relatively short amount of time. I look forward to working with you.